Award!
Dave.
You big yellow bastard!
Where'd you get your sleep?
Jesus Christ.
One gather, two alley.
This is the Dave Duke podcast.
Mokara, Conas the Thought to is Misha Dave Duke, and this is episode 27 of the Dave Duke podcast. And as you've already probably figured out, she's a short one, but she is full of sustenance. Like a little mandarin orange. She might be small, but oh, is she juicy and full of vitamin C. Update numero uno. There will be no podcast next week. Boo, Dave. I know by telling you straight off the bat, it is a bit like being on a sesh with the crew. You're propped at the bar. Everyone's having a merry time. We're getting on the best. And then one announces, well, we won't be fucking doing this next week, will we? Bringing down the mood. Creating tension. Creating hatred amongst the group. However, I don't want to bury this news in the back of the podcast. You don't get that far and then you're messaging me next week going, where is my podcast, Dave? And I'm replying back, didn't I fucking tell you there'd be no podcast? Well, I didn't hear, and then we get into an awful argument. And I ended up blocking you on social media, reporting you for abuse. I'll lambast you on the next podcast with your full name and personal details. We cross each other's paths, and there could be war. That's what could happen if I didn't tell you up front that there would be no Dave Duke podcast episode next week. I'm going on holidays to Lanzarote. We is going for sun. We is going to a resort, and we is going to do fucking nothing. That's numero uno. Number two, to break the tension. How about a session? Or even just a casual jaunt across a dance floor. The next big gig will be Chasing Abbey at the Dome in Bundoran, County Donegal. Saturday, October 21st. Ticket details and event details are in the bio. Go check them out. Come along. The Dome in Bundoran is a wonderful venue, a really cool high-ceilinged nightclub / live music venue. And this is hopefully one of many events that they're going to put on over the next 12 months, and I'm delighted to be involved. I'll be warming up for Chasing Abbey. I'll be finishing off Chasing Abbey. I know. You're laughing at the euphemism. Finishing off the lads. Ha ha ha. How immature. Not as immature as me that knew what he was saying and still said it anyways, because I knew you'd think the same. You dirty beggar. So Saturday, October 21st, Dave Duke. Warming up and finishing off. Chasing Abbey at the Dome, Bundoran. Oh my Johnny, won't you leave me? Don't you leave me. I'd want to get the lyrics right before I see the boys. Ticket details in bio. Update number 3 is a tease. A tickle off your anatomy. There is an exclusive announcement in this podcast that is not on social media, has not been told to even my nearest and dearest, and you're going to get it first. This is what I want to do. For the loyal podcast listeners, they should get the news first, and you're going to get it first. And I think you're going to get a good chuckle and laugh and potentially even a smile out of it. Is it a big deal? I'm going to leave it in your hands. It just makes sense after doing the Supermax ad that this would be the next logical step. That's all I'll say for now. You got to hold on. You've made it this far in the podcast. You're going to make it to the exclusive announcement. The Radio Awards. The title of this episode. We won another one. Alleluia, singing, alleluia, singing, alleluia, alleluia. I feel the Irish media industry is quite unique. I will explain it in this. On Thursday, I was doing an outside broadcast with my co-host Fionnuala Corbett out of a shoe shop in Galway. Surrounded by Una Healy fuck me boots and orthopedic shoes. And on Friday was on the top step of the Irish Radio Awards by being named for the second year in a row General Music Programme of the Year. That is working in radio. Myself and Fionnuala and myself, Fionnuala and I and Fionnuala, I don't care about the fucking English of it, you know what I mean. The two of us, for 2 years in a row, have won General Music Programme of the Year. Do you know how big of a deal that is? Of course you don't. Because I don't even really appreciate how big of a deal it is. But it's big. It's large. Some would say it's fucking huge. But on the Thursday, 24 hours beforehand, we were in that shoe shop doing that show. No shade to the shoe shop. It's just the yin and yang, chalk and cheese of the Irish radio industry. Let me tell you about the awards. Did I tell you about them last week? I think I might have. Did I? I think you got the updates. Well, there was all the famous faces there. From Doireann Garrahy, Donncha O'Callaghan, Carl, of course, Carl Mullen. None of the three of them that I get to talk to. I think I only got within 10 metres of them. Tracy Clifford to FM. Ian Dempsey to FM Breakfast Show. Pamela Joyce. Dermot, not there, but Dave was. Dermot and Dave. Just some really lovely people. Nearly every radio station in the entire country represented, all under one roof, in one room, in the Lyrath Estate Hotel in Kilkenny. There must be one of the only hotels in the country that is centrally located, that is able to handle the magnitude of that many people eating dinner and drinking and being merry at the one time. I met people from different radio stations across the country, from Donegal to Kerry, literally. And there was some really lovely pinch me / full circle moments. I didn't speak to these people, but I stood beside them at the bar with the gold award in my hand, thinking, fucking hell, Dave, you have achieved what you set out to achieve all those years ago. It's about 8 years ago, and I'm flat broke financially and mentally from trying to get into the radio industry. And myself and herself go to see the Coca-Cola truck in Belfast, outside W5. And as we're queuing to see the Coca-Cola truck on this very cold, frosty morning in winter, 3 radio presenters from Cool FM are there doing their show. Pete, Paolo and Rebecca. And they're still together and they're still absolutely thriving. And I looked at them that day like a dog that hadn't ate in 6 weeks. The way a dog would look at a bowl of chicken and ham and spuds and gravy. That's the way I looked at them. I was fucking hungry, starving to be and do what they were doing, to be a radio presenter. And fast forward these years, I'm standing at the bar after picking up this award for 2 years in a row, and they're there. There wasn't an overwhelming wave of emotion. It was just a really lovely internal moment where I got to say to myself, and I don't do this often because I reckon you shouldn't rest on your laurels. I'm very driven, and I'm a greedy fucker. I always want more. Let's go bigger. Let's go harder. How far can I go in this industry? How much can I do? What can I achieve? But I took a moment at that time to just go, well done. Well done, son. I should have went over and told them that. But I knew myself that I wouldn't be able to articulate as well as I have in the last few minutes of that moment. The magnitude of that moment. It's easy now to tell you because I'm very comfortable with you. But at the time I know I would have fucked it up. But I will hopefully tell them someday that they give me a really nice moment when I was in Belfast all those years ago, and they allowed me to have a really nice well done son moment on Friday in Kilkenny. Delighted for Fionnuala as well. We are now both multi-award winning broadcasters. No small feat. At all. This is very self-congratulatory, isn't it? Fucking hell. Dave, come out of it. Quit wanking yourself off on your own podcast. This is getting a bit perverted, isn't it? I want to thank you for your support, for listening to this podcast. Maybe you even said a well done on social media, or maybe you just sent good vibes in general. There's been some really lovely people saying some lovely things, and I feel they are undeserved lovely things being said about the show and about us and about me. They are very much appreciated. What does this award mean? Monetarily, fucking nothing. I should have negotiated with my boss a few years ago that there was a monetary monetary reward for these awards, but I didn't negotiate that. Should have. Hindsight is wonderful. Hindsight is 2020. So monetarily it means nothing. There's no all expenses paid holiday. For a career, I don't know. We are currently in a transition period. iRadio has been bought by Bauer Media. They own Today FM, Spin, Red FM, 98 FM. They're a massive conglomerate, not just in Ireland, not just in the UK, but across Europe and potentially the world. And we're in a transition period. It's going through regulatory processes till they buy us out. So I'm not fully sure what the future holds. And I can't fully divulge my thoughts, as already previously stated on another podcast episode about the takeover, because I do not want to bring it into disrepute at all. So what the future holds, je ne sais pas, which is the only French I have, and it means I do not know. But I'm enjoying the moment. I'm savouring the successes. But I'm driven for more. And I just can't wait to bring home the statuette and hand it to my family and go, there it is. And then I'll go, great. We have no idea what this means. For instance, my Uncle John, who I love very much. I give him a lot of cheek sometimes, and I give him guff, and he thinks I'm a cheeky fucker. But John, I have a great time for you. The last year, when we won the same award, he said, Jesus, fair play to you, this is a massive achievement, well done, so fucking proud of you, it's great for you and Fionnuala. Brilliant. 5 minutes later, he was asking, but what does it actually mean? Because I wouldn't have a clue what's it about. I'm like, you could have just left it at well done, congratulations. You've ruined the illusion. You're like, well, is it a big deal? Does it matter? I don't know, John. I don't know. So I can't wait to show him the 2 awards now. Also, going back to the monetary value of the award, which is 0. If me and Fanula want to get a second one, so we have 1 each, or 2 each, we'd have to go and pay for the second statuette. It's not like the Grammys or Oscars. Well, no, in the Oscars, there's certainly... Okay, this is a better analogy. It's not like an All-Ireland where there's 1 cup and then there's medals for everyone who participated. No, you just get the cup and you have to deal with that. It's just a side note, not a complaint. Just bring you up to speed in case you're wondering why we are sharing said statuette from house to house, from home to home. That's where the crack is. I told you this would be a short podcast. I'm sticking to my promise. The big news, not coming soon. Well, technically it is. Don't want to rob Alan Clark's line. Is that I have signed on for a monthly DJ residency in Copperfest Jacks. Woo fucking who. So I'm going to do for the foreseeable the second Tuesday of every month. It's a random one, I know. I did not think I'd ever get the opportunity to play Copperfest Jacks. And neither did I think I'd be asked to be resident of Copperfest Jacks. But here we are. Officially. Not announced yet. You're getting the exclusive on this. But this is technically announcing it. I am a Copperfest Jacks resident DJ. Mr. Brightside, smash it. Maniac 2000, smash it. So I hope to see you on the dance floor of Ireland's most famous nightclub soon. Going to do a bit of a photo shoot in Copperfest Jacks and announce it on Instagram probably at the start of November with one of those classic football photos, you know, where it's the manager and it's the person who's been signed and there's a jersey and there's a bit of paper out on the desk. I want to do one of those shoots again. I've done it with Duns and Carrigan Shannon. Going to do it with Copperfest Jacks. But that's the exclusive news from November, running for the remainder of the 2023 season and then into 2024. I will be doing a monthly residency in Copperfest Jacks. I told you there'll be exclusive news. It's been a fucking mad year, lads. And we're not even in the full middle of October yet. We're nearly in the middle of October, but we're not at the full middle. There's still 10 weeks to go. We've launched this podcast. Well done. We've been in a Supermax ad. We've won Gold IMRO Radio Award for Best General Music Programme of the Year. And now we're going to be a resident DJ at Copperfest Jacks. And that's only the things that I can remember off the top of my head. I even had some nice dinners like turkey and ham this year. It's been a great year. It's been a tough year, but it's been a great year. And we still have loads to do. Fianna Fáil had definitely the best political slogan of all time. A lot done, a lot more to do. And on that note, thank you for listening to this short update of the Dave Duke podcast. No podcast episode next week. Come see me and Chess and Abby at the Dome of Mundorn on October 21st. Link is in bio. I'm telling you to do a lot of things here. She may as well throw this 5 stars if you enjoyed the last few minutes. And as always, up Leitrim, up riding, and take it savage handy.
It's not every day you win an award.
Award!